No solution. There's no solution right now.
So there hasn't been any solution that works. There's been devices that claim that they can, and then the researchers tested them in my lab and in our lab under Professor Danny Huang. He's my advisor. NYU M Lab is what it's called. So they tested all these different spying devices. You go to an Airbnb. How do you know if there's it might be a hidden camera, right? Big problem. A hidden mic, a hidden, right? So all types of spy devices. When it came to these GPS trackers, they didn't find anything that worked until now. And we tested this very, very scientifically in a lab within one statistical order of magnitude with an R squared of almost 1. So basically a linear relationship proving this out. And that's why this thing really went viral. So news stations around the whole country picked this up, and I'm so glad they did, because we have to get the word out. Right now we're building the app. So again, we really want this built into the phone itself through NNEDV. And we're going to talk to we're going to talk to Apple, we're going to talk to Google, and we're going to make it happen. They'll force them to have it. I mean, you want to believe the tech companies, with all the things people say about big tech, but you want to believe that they have not just a desire, but an achrayus to protect people, to save people's lives. So you want to believe that even if it costs them a couple dollars, they're pretty sure they can afford it. How could you put a price on somebody's life? Anyway, right. So 79% of homicides from intimate partner homicides is started with tracking. And by the way, in the United States, every year, it's a global problem, by the way. 7.5 million people are stalked through technology every year in the United States. That's a federal government number. Of the 7.5 million, a good percentage of it, hundreds and hundreds of thousands, is through trackers. Okay, and like I said, the abusers, the attackers, are not just using the air tags. And I said this on the TV interview when they interviewed me. I was driving my car and I was showing them the solution. It's on YouTube. I can share a link. I said, if I'm an attacker and I know your phone is going to tell you when you have an air tag, am I going to use an air tag? Obviously, I'm going to use the one thing that until Baruch Hashem Mobile Defender, there was no solution, right? I'm going to use that thing, and that's what they're doing. And there's so many sad cases, and then it's around the world. So so this has been my new calling, and very passionate about it. We really need to move quickly. It's a l'isam l'adam recha. It's a pikuach nefesh. It's an idea that as we speak, people are being stalked and tracked, and the majority of those cases, it turns into physical attacks. In many cases, people lose their lives. We have a chiyuv to move very quickly on this, and to me, every day that we don't have, that this thing isn't out there, and again, we're working very, very. With my limited, funds and team, right? We're doing the best I can. I'm just one person. I'm a CEO, but I'm also the only employee. So I'm doing it all. But I could definitely use the help. I could use the funding. We have, like I said, have interest from the advocacy groups, from the organizations that are there to help people, and then even the vehicle companies have reached out. One of the major vehicle companies reached out, and they were actually asking about a different problem that is related. I'll talk about it very quickly. Is the spoofing problem, where you're driving in Yerushalayim, right? But the attacker spoofs, and the car thinks you're in Tel Aviv, right? What could go wrong there? The long list of things that can go wrong. So in a self-driving car, whether it's fully autonomous or semi-autonomous, obviously, and by the way, these devices are very inexpensive, $50 on Amazon, to jam or spoof. Jamming is you can't see anything, but spoofing is to put to someone else. All of a sudden, the car thinks it's going to drive off a cliff. It makes a hard left, and guess what? It drives.
That's crazy. Does that happen? Is that something?
So that's the thing. Yeah, and they're shutting down.
Is this successful? Was it working?
Successful. Yeah.